So the SPY and ticker symbol META are both setting up for very lucrative trading opportunities heading into tomorrow. I'm going to show you exactly where I'm planning to buy call options on the SPY and where I'm planning to buy put options on the SPY to make money day trading 0-day options both ways. In terms of ticker symbol META, we are setting up for a very lucrative trading opportunity. As long as we are holding above the previous closing price, it's going to have a strong bullish trend day heading into tomorrow. In terms of the overall game plan that I gave you for Friday, you should have had a phenomenal green day because I made it very, very clear in terms of the level where we were planning to automatically buy call options on the SPY for a strong bullish closing Friday was at 560. In terms of the automated buy call level that I gave you, it was the exact close on the day, and there was many 30-minute candlestick confirmations to confirm that the level was going to work. Not that we needed it because it was an automated buy level, and it was literally at the exact lows, therefore losing is a personal choice. In terms of the ticker symbol that I gave you, META, I made it very, very clear towards the end of this video that I was planning to trade META. In terms of that overall play, I told you I was interested in getting in towards the previous day lows, and I was also interested in getting in towards slightly higher break and retest levels. In terms of my own personal trading, I ended up going 2 for 2, 100% success rate trading META and 50% success rate trading SPY, going 1 for 2. In terms of Groar started off the day with a massive win, and then we had a couple L's, then we had a couple wins, and then in terms of the power hour trading session, Groar ended up making a 1000% return in less than 10 minutes trading SPX. Therefore, losing is a personal choice. Now, in terms of the overall game plan, let's get right into it. So the stock market is setting up for a very lucrative trading opportunity to trade both ways on the SPY. This is what I want you to be aware of. I took a look at the overall daily chart pattern, and what I want you to understand is the following. So in terms of the daily chart pattern, this is going to be very, very simple. Right now, the SPY is gapping up, and this is confirming the pattern that I'm seeing on the daily chart on the SPY. So since the SPY is gapping up, there's going to be an opportunity for calls and there's going to be an opportunity for puts. Now, if we're opening up with a larger gap up, going to be more focused on buying puts towards upper resistance levels and then waiting for calls on the lower oversold levels, right? So right now we are experiencing a decent gap up. So in terms of the previous closing price, that's sitting at 564. In terms of the gap up, we're currently at 568, right? So in terms of these resistance levels, since the gap up is so massive and based off of what I'm seeing on the daily chart pattern, I am swaying away from buying calls at these higher prices. So in terms of puts, what are the levels of interest to be buying put options? So in terms of my main levels, I've been waiting for the SPY to hit these key levels that have not been tested. And in terms of the first level, it's going to be the breakdown and retest strategy, which is when a support level cracks and then the SPY spikes back up to retest, then it forms lower highs, right? So in terms of that level, 572 to, you can even say in a sense, 571.50 to 572.50. It's going to be a 1-point zone. So 571.50 to 572.50, this overall zone, if we are seeing resistance forming, if we are seeing lower highs forming, if we are seeing red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmations forming, going to be interested in buying put options in between that zone for the breakdown and retest. This was support right here in the pre-market. It ended up cracking this support at 562.50, hasn't spiked to that level since. So when it hits that level first, especially with that extended hours level, is likely going to drop first. It's an ideal drop zone. Now the lower level of the drop zone has been tested, but it's only been tested during the pre-market trading session. It has not been tested during normal trading hours session. So the point is, when we hit this overall zone and when it's reacting bearish at the zone, going to be doing put options. Now, the level I have above that is going to be the gap close reversal. This is one of the higher gaps that's waiting to fill above on the SPY. There's a gap that is waiting to fill above right here at 576. Once the SPY closes the gap at 576, going to be very interested in buying put options. And another breakdown retest level that you can even say, which is slightly higher, is this 574.50, man. So all of those levels interested in puts as of now in terms of this overall trade idea, mainly focused for tomorrow if we can somehow hit these overall levels, 571.50, 572.50, 574.50, and 576. Those are all going to be levels of interest to be buying put options if we're getting the bearish confirmations. Now, in terms of where we stand before then, this is what I want you to understand. So in terms of the overall SPY and in terms of call options, previous closing price, 564. If we're opening up with a massive gap down, that's going to be the first level of interest for call options. If we're opening up with a massive gap up, 564, if we're reacting as support, it's going to try to bounce first for a nice quick scalping opportunity into that 566 overall range. So if there's a confirmation at 564, I'll be buying call options at that overall level. Now that's mainly if we're having a big gap up. If we're opening up flat or a small gap up, less likely to do it. I'll be very strategic and waiting for a very strong confirmation, right? But as you can see right here in terms of the overall chart, man, the SPY has been having multiple break and retest. We had resistance right here at 561.50, ended up breaking above, forming the higher floor once it retested with the green, red, green bullish pattern that I teach you to trade all the time. And then shortly enough, SPY ended up going higher. We did end up hitting those call options for a 1,000% return on SPX, printing at the speed of light within 10 minutes. Now, with that being said, man, in terms of the overall situation, SPY's been having breaks above resistance, dropping back down to retest previous resistance, forming higher support with bullish patterns, green, red, green, bullish pins, right? And then you can see it's doing the same thing. We had higher resistance right here at 564. We had a break above that level, and then it did test, but it tested during the extended hours. It tested during the extended hours at 564, forming the higher support. Now we're gapping up. So since we're having this nice gap up, we are very likely to bounce first at 564 when it's tested during the normal trading hours, but the new resistance in the new break and retest level is going to be at 565. So keep an eye on that zone. 564 to 565, if we are reacting bullish, right? And obviously in terms of a better level, it's the lower level it calls, higher level with puts, but the confirmations are extremely important, right? Unless it's like an automated level, right? But 564 to 565 is going to be the first zone of interest for calls. And like I said, in terms of like lack of confirmation or just really strong to get in, if it's a higher gap up, I'm more likely to buy calls at that overall level. If we're opening up flat or with a small gap up, then I'm less likely to do it. I'm going to need a very strong confirmation. Now, in terms of the levels below that, I will say this. If you go back throughout the previous game plans and the previous trades that I've recapped, that we've taken, right? This level right here is going to be a strong level of interest for buying calls once it is retested, right? It's going to be this 560 to 560.50. You could even say 560 to 561. This zone, once again, when we retest this previous level right here, we had some previous resistance right here. Once this is retested, it's likely going to have a very strong bounce. 561 to 560 is an automated buy level for calls. Another strong level you can keep an eye on for calls would be this zone right here at 562.50 to 563. So in terms of calls, keeping the focus on the more oversold levels, on the break and retest levels that haven't really been tested, in a sense, right? You could see right here, we had some resistance right here. We had some resistance right here. Once we broke above this resistance, we really haven't tested that previous resistance. It's been forming higher support above this strong previous resistance right here, forming higher support above this strong previous resistance right here, which is super bullish in a sense, right? But once we drop back down to the more oversold resistance that hasn't been tested, 562.50, and then this 561 to 560.50, likely going to have strong bounces, right? So those are the game plans for calls and puts. Make sure you are using the 30-minute candlestick confirmations that I've been teaching you, the 30-minute trading patterns, the 30-minute system. Now, in terms of where we're at before that, right now, you can see we have a lot of resistance at 570, 569.50. So we're approaching a lot of resistance, right? This is going to be a new break and retest level. It's too high for my liking. So 568 is too high for my liking. Now, if it is too high for my liking, how would I be able to consider taking a trade at that level? So if we had a massive breakout, if the SPY had a massive break, but ideally like 3 points plus, if we went from 560 to 571, and then we dropped right back down to 568, overreaction to the upside, overreaction to the downside, I would consider calls at 568 if there was a big overreaction to the upside and then a big overreaction to the downside. Ideally in that situation, since it's a more higher level and based off what I'm seeing on the daily chart, 3-point move plus. Based off the daily chart, best thing we do is focus on calls towards those oversold levels, really to begin with, slightly above that previous closing price towards that 565 level. Should be an absolute banner to 564 zone on call options, right? So in terms of where we're at right now, you need to understand 568 is currently resistance. If it breaks out, reacts to support, the next level we go to is 570.50. If that happens and we drop back down to 560, I will show small interest in buying calls if there's confirmation at 568, right? So based off the daily chart pattern, I'm not interested in buying calls at these higher levels unless there's massive breakouts and then massive drops right back down to retest for the break and retest strategy. And ideally like a 2.5 breakout. And I want it to drop just as fast as it went up, if not quicker. So keep all of that in mind, because in terms of using these strategies, they work in a very meticulous, strategic way. So make sure you're using information in terms of how I'm saying it. Make sure you apply it that way, right? So where we're at right now, like I said, just levels I'm not really too interested in unless we get massive overreaction to upside, massive overreaction to downside. So 568 breaks and reacts to support. Then we're going to 570, and then I gave you the levels before that, right? And then if 568 reacts as a resistance and we're selling the fuck off, then we drop back down towards 565, and then that's the level for calls, right? So I want you to think of, in terms of where we're at, we are towards the upper middle, right? So you can think of like the absolute major resistance, crazy peak towards the 570 range. I gave you the 570 resistance. And then you can think of the overall bottom, right? So this could be used in terms of the next couple of days. Overall bottom, that lower 560s overall range and stuff like that next couple of days, right? But I gave you the main levels for tomorrow and the main game plans for tomorrow and what you're really going to want to be focused on, right? Use those levels. You're going to be printing money at the speed of light with this information that I provided to you. Right now, we're at make or break resistance. The SPY is going to attempt to retrace back down towards that gap. Going to be targeting call options towards all of those levels I gave you. As long as the confirmations are there, 565 to 564 zone is the first zone for calls, right? And then if we break above 568, go to 570s, drop back down to 568, I'll show small interest in calls if there's a confirmation, right? Really not interested in doing much besides that, towards the overall, 568 to 570 range. But you need to understand, based off of what I'm seeing in this pattern, this is one more trade idea that I'm going to give you towards the end of this overall video. So in terms of the levels, those are truly the best levels for puts. But in terms of a trade idea, I want you to understand this and make sure you look for this overall idea heading into tomorrow. So I gave you the best levels for puts, but they might not hit heading into tomorrow. So this is one thing that you can do. If we are opening up with a big gap up, if we're opening up, above like 568, the SPY could potentially drop in between that 568 to 570.50 range. So this is what I would say, man. They're not the best levels, but they could end up being the best levels because based off of what I'm seeing in the pattern, if we are opening up with a massive gap up, it's going to attempt to drop first. So what I would tell you is use the best confirmations in between the zone. If you are seeing bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmations at 568 to 570.50, you can try put options. Look for resistance to be forming for more than an hour. 1 to 2 hours of major resistance, top wicks, you could try to puts. If you're seeing the SPY sell off from 570, 569, 568, it drops about 1.5 points plus, and then it spikes back up to the previous resistance level where it started to drop, then you could try puts on the retest if there's a confirmation. That is going to be a trade idea strictly for puts at those lower levels as long as the SPY is opening up with a massive gap up and we are getting those bearish confirmations or we're getting a bearish double top retest, right? So that's what I would look for heading into the market open tomorrow. And like I said, the only really other idea towards this higher level is if we have a massive break above 568, drop back down and look for a quick scalp on calls at 568 for the break and retest at the highest break and retest level that I would consider. So if you use this information, you should be printing money and going green at the speed of light heading into tomorrow. Now, in terms of the overall trades, I'm going to quickly go over this. So in terms of my trades, absolutely crushed it. If you applied the game plan, you should have had a phenomenal green day. Very, very strong within the green. You should have made hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars. I literally said, if you go back and you watch the game plan, the auto buy level, this was literally it, man. The auto buy level, I literally said, was at 560 to 559. Literally towards the exact lows was the auto buy zone. And that's not the first time I said that. That zone that I gave you ended up working out multiple times, man. So it worked out absolutely phenomenal. And you could see in terms of the overall, 30-minute chart on SPY, it hit the auto buy zone. Ever since it hit the auto buy zone that I gave you right here, this was the zone. Look at the confirmations, man. This is all bullish. If you look at the 30-minute chart, all this is bullish pins, strong support. Bears can't crack it. 30-minute candlesticks are closing very, very strong once they dropped first, right? This is all extremely bullish price action. Then we had a break above this resistance, Then we had a retest. This 30-minute candle is a trend reversal candle. This is the same trend reversal 30-minute candlestick that I used to buy call options on previous trades. Go back and watch the fucking videos. You can literally find the same patterns in the 10-day, 30-minute chart. It's the same fucking candlestick on a break and retest level that prints like fucking crazy. This is the candlestick right here. It's not the exact same, but you can see right here, this was resistance on the SPY. We had a massive breakout. We had a drop back down. This is the 30-minute trend reversal candlestick. And then surely enough, it started to spike higher within time, retesting these wicks, right? But if you just go back throughout the 10-day, 30-minute chart, you're going to see, this is where I used it. Same candlestick right here. This is the resistance right here. Literally the same pattern that just played out that I just showed you. Has a break above resistance, drops back down. This is the 30-minute red trend reversal candlestick. Buy calls and open the next 30 minutes. That pattern in the 10-day, 30-minute chart literally happened on Friday. Did you capture that? This is resistance right here. The highs of this is resistance, highs of this resistance, highs of this resistance. You have the break, you have the retest, you have the 30-minute closing trend reversal candle, strong green and bullish. All reasons to be buying fucking call options. And then we had another break and retest. This is the break. This is the drop back down. Retest is right here, forming the higher fucking support. Green, red, fucking green, bullish confirmations, all bullish fucking candle, strong close. Just like the video said, strong bullish closing Friday. Auto buy calls at 5.60. I genuinely don't understand how anyone can be fucking red. It's like, dude, losing is a personal fucking choice. So that's recapping overall markets price action in terms of what I ended up doing. Let me walk you through the trades. So in terms of market open, I did end up overpaying for these calls. I got in on 560 SPY calls to 239 cents. They did end up going 15%. So if you set a profit stop, you would have been stopped out for profit. If you didn't, you would have been out for a small L. I made it very, very clear to just quickly cut the play. I didn't like the price action. I wanted to wait, and I didn't like the prices I paid. So overall, it's either a small win or a small win or a small loss if you took it, because quickly got out in that situation. That's something I rarely do. But you guys know in terms of trading, I rarely trade during the morning trading sessions, maybe once or twice a week in terms of my own personal trading. But this is where I absolutely started to crush it. Once I started trading META. So if you go back throughout the middle of the video and you watch the game plan, and for those of you who stay to the end, I'll literally share with you this trade idea. So the only thing I dislike about this is, we're not going to have 0-date options on META tomorrow. Very unfortunate, right? So the contracts are going to be more expensive. If something's more expensive, you're going to be risking more and you're going to be making less percentage gains and you're going to be paying more, right? So it's not an ideal situation, but I will say in terms of the overall daily chart, and I am likely going to play this as well, this is extremely fucking bullish, man. So I am likely going to buy call options on META heading into tomorrow, even though, it's not going to be 0 day. It's very unfortunate. But like I said, man, it's just the daily chart setup is so fucking bullish. It's hard to resist this one, especially with the gains I made from it on Friday. So this is what I was looking at, man. If you watch the video, I told you, this daily candlestick right here, if we bottom towards previous day lows, strong bullish closing trend day, right? This candlestick right here, if we bottom towards the previous day lows, strong bullish closing trend day, right? So if you took a fucking look at the 30-minute fucking chart, it would have been very fucking clear to you that META was bottoming towards the previous day lows, right? So if we go to the previous day lows, you're going to see right here, this is the previous day lows. If you look at the 30-minute chart, this is the pre-market right here. The 30-minute chart is a green bullish 30-minute pin at the previous day lows. Therefore, you can buy call options on META. So using my game plan and using my 30-minute trading system that I fucking created, I followed through with the game plan that I gave you, where you could have had a strong bullish closing trend day on META, where these calls ended up going multiple 100% profit return, even though they were more expensive. So I went with 585 calls, META, 500 cents a contract. In terms of these overall calls, man, fucking crushed it. So on that overall trade, and I made it very, very clear to leave runners, I ended up closing out half my position at 745 cents, right? So 500 to 750, I mean, we're talking a 50% plus return in that particular situation, right? And in terms of the overall trades, I left runners, made it very, very clear. So I ended up selling the rest of that overall situation on those calls. I ended up selling the rest at 850 cents for a 75%, 80+% return on that, right? I was in at 500, sold at 850, over 80% on that, right? Absolutely crushed it. And that was not the only time I traded it. As you can see right here, I ended up getting in once again. Let me go back to that overall page. So I ended up getting in right here on a different strike as I was holding the other one, runners on the other one, 587.5 calls at 390 cents at 10:09 a.m. And then I ended up selling that at 641 cents. All day, we had people within the chat crushing it on fucking META, man. It was fucking phenomenal, man. People were printing at the speed of fucking light on META, man. I told you, it was going to be a strong bullish closing trend, and I'm literally telling you, if we hold above previous closing price, it's going to be the same thing. Same situation as Friday, as long as we're holding above the previous closing price, not previous day lows, right? So I ended up selling those for, 485 a contract, and I left 20% to run. In terms of the runners, I sold my runners at 641 cents, right? And I was literally in at 390, so over 50%. That is back-to-back massive wins on META, man. The game plan literally called it out. This is directly from the game plan. It explained exactly what to do. Like I said, if you followed the game plan, I genuinely don't understand how you could have been on red on Friday. Like, it's like being red is just a personal choice. Like, this is 2025 now. Do you understand? We have decades of experience. Fucking unlimited fucking winning, unlimited fucking printing. Nobody fucking prints like us. Losing is a personal fucking choice, man. We're trading the cheapest, lowest price asset class with the biggest percentage gains in the market. I was looking at the comments, man, something I rarely fucking do. People were talking about credit spreads. Why the fuck would I trade a credit spread? A credit spread, you are limited to the profits you can make. On SPX, you can make a limited profit potential and it's cheap and low risk. You can't do this with a fucking credit spread. You can't buy a 5665 SPX call for 65 cents and sell it within fucking minutes for 550. You can't make 1,000% return on fucking credit spreads, man. I genuinely can't stand the brokies. I genuinely can't stand in terms of the people who are just not educated in terms of day trading far money 0-day option contracts. Believe it or not, there are traders, there are multimillionaires who have 80 to 90% win rates trading these contracts, and they hold them for long periods of time, and they make the biggest percentage gains, multiple 100% profit returns, 1,000% returns, and they add to their winners, and they set profit stops to get stopped out for profit, and they don't use stop losses, and they just let the trades expire worthless and go to zero because the most they put in is what they're willing to risk. And to increase their risk, they add to the wins, and they set the profit stop to protect the increased risk. It's like, dude, people have fucking systems that just print and make money non-fucking stop, where it's just unlimited fucking winning and unlimited fucking printing, and I'm literally showing you exactly what it looks like, right? So those were my fucking wins. And then this was the second trade on SPY. I bought 563 calls at 84 cents at 2:17 p.m., right? And then I was adding. So in this situation, something we normally don't do, I ended up adding to my loser because I didn't want to go at a different strike, and it made sense to add because the confirmation was there to add. So I just added to the fucking loss. Added at 69 cents. I think my average was like 76 cents, and I kept on adding. Added at 67 cents. And then I dropped, the Uno reverse card at the exact fucking low, said this should work. And then someone said, keep doing whatever the fuck you're doing. Because as soon as I dropped this fucking card, the SPY had this massive fucking spike. So yeah, I dropped this card at 2:35 p.m. I dropped this heart of cards here in the chat, made it very, very clear that I was going to reverse after I did all that fucking adding to my loser. I mean, it's only down like 25%, not a big deal. But if you go to the Universe card right here, after I added at 2:35 fucking p.m., you're going to see right here, if we go to, let's see, 2:35 p.m., you're going to see this is where I dropped the fucking card. So the card worked. This right here, 2:35 p.m. As you can see, we go to 2:35 p.m. Exact lows. As soon as I dropped the fucking card, the fucking SPY, let me show you. SPY, this is the right chart here. Let me show you. 2:35 p.m. This is where I dropped the card right here. Take a look at this, man. I dropped it right here, 2:35 p.m., and this is aligned with my SPY trade. You go to 2:35 p.m., right? This is where I dropped the card. This is 2:35 p.m. It goes from 562.50 in 2 single minutes, 562.50 to 563 plus. The fucking calls fucking exploded in the fucking money at the speed of fucking light. Right after I added to the losers, right after I dropped the fucking card, man. So on that play, we fucking printed like crazy. Like I said, my average was 76, got out at 91 cents. Nothing too crazy, but all of the adding helped, and all of the META gains before that helped. So in terms of my overall day, as you can see, that was 3 for 4, 75% success rate. If you can't figure out how to be profitable with a 75% success rate, then quit. Trading is not for you. Now, in terms of the overall trades, Groar, so as you can see right here, I'm going to walk you through this, man. Let me show you what Groar ended up doing, man. So in terms of the morning, we had a massive win, and you guys are well aware in terms of the system, Risk Management 101, if we have a massive win, then the most you risk is 25 to 50% of your gains if you choose to keep on trading, not that you have to because you already exceeded the overall goal. One big win or 2 small wins in a row means you no longer have to trade, right, for the rest of the day, right? So if you choose to keep on trading, most you risk is 25 to 50% of your overall gains. So let me walk you through the trades, man. This was the first trade. It was on Tesla. We ended up buying Tesla calls, 250 strike, Tesla calls, 66 cents a contract, man. Look at how much cheaper they are when there's 0 dates. This is why for stocks, we wait to trade stocks usually on Friday, unless there's just some sort of crazy setup, but we're still gonna have to pay more because they're not 0 dates. But on Friday, man, I told you, Friday we trade stocks. You're gonna see 250 Tesla calls, 66 cents a contract. As soon as we got in, they went to 69 cents, 68 cents, 67 cents. And then I'm adding to the winners, doubling the position size. This is how the rich get richer. The rich get richer by adding to their winners and then setting profit stops. They do not get richer by adding to losers. If you add to a loser and you set a stop loss, you're going to lose more money. If you add to a winner and set a profit stop, you're going to get stopped out for profit regardless, right? So this is what all the rich people do. They add to the fucking winners. And as you can see, 88 cents. 88 cents within fucking minutes, man. The play went from 66 to 88 within minutes. That's a phenomenal win. You could have made 50% on Tesla at the speed of fucking light. SPY puts did not work out. Like I said, not every trade is going to be a win, but if you take all the trades combined, even if the losses expire worthless and go to 0, we are net positive even if the win rate is low, and we have the highest win rate in the game. But with a system like this, you could be profitable with a win rate at like 30%, man. If you have 3 trades and 2 are 100% losses and 1 is a 200% plus win, you're going to be profitable in that particular situation, right? So with 0-to-8 farther money option contracts, since the percentage gains are so big, and then we're also adding to the winners to increase the gains and setting the profit stops, you should be able to be profitable with a 30% win rate. If you're not able to be profitable with a 30% win rate, you're either risking too much, or in that particular situation, you're not winning big enough percentage-wise. But like I said, in terms of Team Roar, these are the biggest percentage gains you're ever going to see within the market. These are the best trades you're ever going to fucking see, right? So puts didn't work out, but in terms of the Tesla trade, it worked out phenomenal. And then in terms of the META trades, it worked out phenomenal. So in that sense, you should have been green enough, but this trade did not work out. Now, if we go to the next trades, had another trade on puts. So overall, that didn't work out again. So that was 2 L's in a row. 564 calls, 64 cents to 78 cents. That's well above 15%. So when you're up 15%, make sure you set the profit stops. 564 SPY calls, 63 cents. Quickly went to 106 cents. Could have made 100% return on that, right? That's another phenomenal trade. 565 calls, 66 cents. Quickly went to 77 cents plus. Another win there. And then the SPX puts. So this is a great point. This is the power hour trading session. So in terms of the power hour trading session, there was 3 trades. Take a look. SPX, 5630 puts, 75 cents. So say you have a smaller account. You're risking 75 cents a contract, $75 a contract, right? Didn't work out. That's a 100% loss, $75 loss per contract. This trade right here, 5625 SPX puts, 45 cents a contract, $45 a contract, did not work out. 200% loss in terms of both the trades, or $45 loss on this overall one trade, right? 100% loss on this overall one trade, right? So you could think of it as like 200% net loss. It depends on how you look at it and how you trade, because like I said, you can create any fucking system you want to create out of forward money option contracts. It could be percentage-wise, it could be dollar-wise, profit stops, stop loss. You could do whatever the fuck you want with this. It's the best fucking system on the fucking planet. It gives you unlimited options to trade with a cash account. But the point is, let's say you're doing it by percentages, right? So 2 trades right here, you're down 200%. Now, this trade, you're in at 65 cents, right? So basically the same price of these 2 contracts, kind of like the average in a sense, and you're adding. So as you can see, we didn't add to the loser. We did not add to the loser. What increases the winners? What do rich people do? They add to the winners, right? So we're in at 65 cents, adding. It's going up into the 70s, into the 80s. We're adding to the winners when we're up a little bit, 10, 20, 30%, add, double, triple position size. Set the profit stop to protect the new added risk, right? If you add to a loser, you're not going to be able to set a fucking profit stop. You're going to set a fucking stop loss and get stopped out for a fucking loss. If you add to a winner, you set a profit stop, and if the trade goes against you, your profit stopped out with that extra risk taken on. Going green to red is still a personal choice if you add to a fucking winner, man. So this is what the rich people do. We all add to fucking winners. All the rich people add to winners. Add to winners, add to winners, add to winners. Add. And then as you can see, sell. Where are we fucking selling? A minute before the market closes. So we're in right here at 3:51 p.m. And then we're out at 3:59 p.m. In 8 minutes, adding to the winners multiple times, doubling the position size, 60 cents to 550. So do you understand? We're talking about a 1,000% profit return, which outweighs the 200% losses before that during the power hour trading session, right? So think about it. If you trade the power hour trading session, you lose 200% taking those first two trades. Third trade, you make 1,000%, net positive 800%. But if you look at the dollar-wise, look, we're not adding to the losers. This is a loser. This is red. We're not fucking adding. This is a loser. This is red. We're not fucking adding. It's DOA. It's dead on fucking arrival. But in terms of the fucking winners, adding, doubling the position size, and then you set the profit stops, and it went straight fucking up to 5.50, selling a minute before the fucking close. So that right there is a perfect example on how you can literally be successful during the power hour trading session with less than a 10% fucking win rate, man. With a 10% fucking win rate, man. In that situation, that was fucking 1 for 3, extremely successful with a 30% win rate. That's power hour from 3:30 to 4 p.m. So this is what all the rich people do, man. All the rich people, they trade SPX from 3:30 to 4 p.m. They don't go trading fucking credit spreads at 3:30 to 4 fucking p.m. They're trading fucking SPX, making 1,000% gains, adding to winners, and setting fucking profit stops. If you want to get fucking rich day trading, this is what everyone is fucking doing. It's the best fucking system. It is cheap. It is low risk. It is the strongest foundation. You do not need a high win rate. I just proved it. You don't need a fucking high win rate. And we add to the fucking winners and we set up fucking profit stops. We have the system figured out. So that's what we ended up doing on Friday. This one trade during power hour makes up for all the fucking L's. And we did have many wins. It wasn't just, L's. Obviously, Groar had, more L's than usual. But as you can see, collectively as a whole, the wins make up for the fucking L's. Groar is calling the biggest percentage game plays within the fucking market, right? To make money, you have to trade. So in terms of like low risk systems, how can you make a fuck ton of money by not risking a lot? I explained to you how to do it. Trading more, making more trades on the day increases your probabilities of hitting bigger percentage gains. This is a great situation. Maybe this 1,000% return wouldn't have happened if we didn't have those two L's first during power hour, right? So you have to trade. Shooters shoot, traders trade. You have to fucking trade, man. So by trading more, you're going to be risking less and putting yourself in higher probability trades. The win rate does not matter. The traders with the strongest foundation have all optimized to be successful with a low win rate, and then they focus on increasing their win rate once there's nothing else that can get better in a sense, right? So it allows you to be successful with a low win rate. Trading more means you're taking smaller position sizes. If you're making a bunch of fucking trades, you're going to be taking smaller position sizes, which is less risk. Bigger percentage gains means you're letting the percentage gains in the time you're holding the trade. You're holding the trades longer at times as well, and timing the trades properly during power hour. We don't have to hold as long. But the percentage gains means you don't have to risk a lot. Trading more means you're sizing in less. You don't have to risk a lot, right? Adding to winners, you're taking on extra risk, but you're not risking more because you're setting a profit stop as soon as you add. So if the trade goes against you, you get quickly profit stopped out, right? So it protects your new average cost. It's a way to increase your gains straight up by adding to the profit stops, not to the losers. So what I'm explaining to you is I'm explaining to you systems that give you ways to win the biggest, to win the most within the market in the cheapest, lowest risk way possible. Has the strongest foundation to be successful with an extremely low win rate, but we have the highest win rate in the game doing this, trading farther money 0-8 options, right? Trading more is going to give you that edge in terms of higher probabilities of making bigger percentage gains within the overall market. You're going to have to trade more, right? In a sense, but also you're taking smaller position sizes, right? And you're adding to winners to increase the fucking winnings, man. So I'm explaining to you, man, this is what it comes down to. Cheap, far out of the money 0-8 option contracts, very low risk, right? Making multiple trades on the day, trading more with a cash account, smaller position sizes, adding to the winners, setting the profit stops to protect your new average cost, moving the profit stops up higher to ensure that if the market has a move against you, you're going to get profit stopped out for the bulk of your gains and not give back the bulk of your gains because you're moving the profit stop up higher as the trade goes up within your favor. As these contracts are printing at the speed of light, 564 calls, 63 cents, as they're going higher, you should be setting your profit stop when these quotes are exceeding that 15% plus gain mark, right? These are the quotes moving up in real fucking time, man. When calls are up 20, 30 cents plus, you should be setting those fucking profit stops. So you get the point, man. This is the best style of trading. But in terms of traders trading at this style, 98% of traders lose trading at this style. The best traders, the rich traders, have all optimized for this overall style and system of trading because they realize this is the cheapest, lowest risk to trade, where you can literally make the biggest gains, not only percentage, but dollar-wise, because I explained to you, what makes up for smaller position sizes? Making more trades, bigger percentage gains, adding to winners. If you're taking smaller position sizes and putting in your entire max risk per trade in your trade, meaning if our trades go to zero and we lose 100%, the most we lose is what we put in, is what we know we're willing to put in risk, which is our max risk per trade, our multiple. Most traders have an R multiple, but they use a stop loss, and when they get stopped out, they lose their R multiple, right? And then all the time when it hits their fucking stop loss, the trade goes green. And if they would have held the trade, they would have made money. And a lot of them don't hold their fucking trades, and they don't hold their fucking trades because their stop loss is tight. And if you have a tight stop loss, that means you're sizing in big. And if you're sizing in big, you're not going to be able to hold your trade because your stop loss is so fucking close to your entry. You're going to condition yourself to sell for a small win, right? How the fuck are you going to hold a trade if you're sizing in big, risking too much, or if you have a tight stop loss? Only reason your stop loss would be tight is if you're sizing in fucking big, right? Because if you have a tight stop loss, you're never going to be able to hold a trade for a big win. It's just not fucking possible, especially with 0-day option contracts. You can enter these fucking contracts, they drop 30, 40, 50% if you time the move wrong. And then they come back to life. In terms of us, in a dead play, when we're down 50% plus, it comes back to life and it goes in the money. And 70% of the time, it comes back to life and it goes from being a dead play that's down 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%. To then going green, and we set the profit stop and we add to winners. So I'm trying to put you onto a very unique system that, like I said, nobody within this market. So Team Roar is the only company that offers this type of system where there is no stop losses. It's the cheapest, lowest risk contracts that have the biggest percentage gains. We have the highest win rate in the game doing this. Not that we need it, because with our overall system, not setting the stop losses, adding to winners, and setting the profit stops really allows us to have a low win rate trading farther money option contracts because we're winning so fucking big, not only adding to the winners, but also having the biggest percentage gains. So this is what you should optimize for, man. If you are serious about making money as a trader and trading with real money, the best strategy to optimize for is far out of the money 0-day option contracts. There is no better system or strategy that you can optimize for as a day trader, if you're day trading within the stock market, than far out of the money 0-day options contracts. But I'm telling you, it takes a very, very long time to figure out and to master, man. I mean, what I'm showing you and what I'm explaining to you and everything, this is over a decade of experience. So if you want to trade alongside multimillionaires, if you want to get access to a real-time 0-day options trading alert system, if you want to get access to our secure private network and our community who's printing at the speed of fucking light, I'm telling you, we got a lot of multimillionaires in here. We got a lot of heavy hitters. I mean, I'll even give you this bonus right here for those of you who stay to the end of the video. So, the last swing trades that Ninja called out, Ninja told me to get in on fucking Doge at 20 fucking cents. It went to fucking 40 cents, 100% gain. Ninja told me to get in on fucking Tesla leap call options when they were in like low to mid 200s, and then it fucking exploded, and those leap call options ended up going 200% profit return. So Ninja, extremely successful swing trader and investor within our overall community, right? He's the guy who made over fucking 7 fucking million swing trading fucking NVIDIA call options, I think in 2022 on the fucking earnings. That's what really put him on the radar in terms of our secure private organization. But he rarely drops plays like these. These are like rare situations. I mean, on average, probably like once or twice every 3 months. So I'll give you this bonus as well. The last swing trade I gave you on SPY calls went up 100%. You should have banked on that one. For those of you who stayed to the end, he's buying SPY swing calls 2 to 3 months out, and I 100% agree with him on that overall play. They're going to fucking print. So if you're looking for some passive income, just throw some money into fucking 2 to 3 months out, go a little bit further out of the money, fucking SPY calls, man. So that's a big play. Like I said, he rarely does that. I mean, he'll only post a message like that once every like 3 fucking months. So, like I said, man, it's our secure private organization. You gain access to, my trades. You gain access to Groar real-time 0-day options trade alert system. You gain access to his trades. You gain access to our community. There was another member in the community posting his trades. He was crushing it. Wonka just kills it every single fucking day. I'm telling you, we got a lot of interesting characters in here. We got a lot of multimillionaires in here. It's just unlimited fucking winning, limited fucking printing. But yeah, Wonka called out these Apple calls that printed like fucking crazy, man. They went up fucking 65% at the speed of fucking light, man. He's been killing it. I'm telling you, man, we got a lot of fucking winners in here, and we got a lot of big fucking money. If you're serious about making fucking money, it's the first link down below. within the overall description. You surround yourself with our community, our secure private network, and it's a community who's mastered and who's just focused on trading far out of the money 0-day option contracts, man. Like I said, Team Roar, this is the best real-time 0-day options trading alert system you will find. This is not just buy and sell alerts. This is a strategic system that has risk management factored in, where there's no stop losses, where there's setting profit stops, where there's moving the profit stops up higher, where there's adding to winners, and then we're down big on a play, we don't get stopped out. 70% of the time it comes back to life and we set the profit stops when it does. And when we are down big on a play, another thing that our system has is we buy a second strike, and that second strike tends to work very, very well because we're focused on trading the trend, and that second strike tends to be timed extremely perfectly, right? So it's the first link down below within the description. Like I said, man, we have a lot of people getting fucking results in printing at the speed of fucking light, like non-fucking stop. This is another trader within our group who's been crushing it. We have plenty of traders within the group who are just consistently making thousands of dollars every single fucking day trading far out of the money 0-day options contracts, man. I'm telling you, pull out a compound interest calculator and put in your account size and do like 3 to 6.2% and then do 100 days. All it fucking takes, man, is 100 fucking days of fucking consistency and compounding your account to change your fucking life, no matter how small you're starting with, man. I'm telling you. And it's possible. And the best way it's possible, the most realistic way, is putting yourself in something that is cheap, low risk, with the biggest percentage gains, that is backed by multimillionaires and backed with a system that works for many, many traders. We have hundreds of traders who've been with us for over 2 years. And like I said, man, they're all focused on mastering the system, creating their own systems, using it to their advantage as trading. I'm telling you, it's unlimited fucking printing. It's unlimited fucking winning. We have so many members who are consistently making $500 to $1,000 a day. We have multimillionaires in here who are consistently making tens of thousands to $100,000 plus a month. It's happening in real fucking time inside of our network, inside of our secure private organization. So if you would like to join and you're looking for a far out of the money 0-day options trading alert system that you're not going to find anywhere else on the fucking planet, if you're looking for a community that focuses on trading far out of the money 0-day option contracts, this is the best 0-day options trading fucking company you are ever going to fucking find. This is the best fucking community you will find. This is the best fucking system you'll ever fucking find. And you guys are all well aware that people don't have systems, man. You know, people have buy and sell alerts and set their little stop losses, but they don't have any strategic system. And what I'm telling you is this is a strategic system. No stop losses, profit stops, add to winners, move profit stops up higher, dead plays come back to life. We're not selling for the losses. Just let them expire worthless if they go to fucking zero. If they hit our 15% plus, set the fucking profit stops, right? We have the entire day for that trade to hit our profit stop. You understand? We are trading the trend. We have the entire day for that trade to go up to 15% to set a profit stop. And if it doesn't go up 15%, then worst case scenario, we lose what we put in. The contract expires worthless, goes to zero, right? We have the entire fucking day for that out of money contract to go in the money to make the biggest percentage gains. So if you want to print like this, right? Name any other fucking group out there that's doing this, man. Every single fucking week, we're making 1,000% wins. If you make a 1,000% win on SP fucking X, if you risk $65 to make $550, that means you can fucking lose 9 fucking times in a fucking row every power hour trading session, every fucking day, right? Go fucking red. You're still fucking green. Why? Because 1,000% win rate. And how are we even more green where it's even outweighs that? Adding to the fucking winners, man. Taking this trade at 65 and getting out at 550, you can have 9 losses in a row. You can have 9 fucking red days in a row. 1 loss on each red day, 100% loss, you're still fucking green. Now, if you're adding to the fucking winners, do the math on that, man. Forget it. If you're adding to the fucking winners, the win rate doesn't even, it's like, dude, you could be profitable to 10% win rate. You could be fucking profitable to 10% success rate. But since you're adding to the winners on a play that goes up 1,000%, it's like now you can be profitable with a 1% win rate. Do the fucking math, man. This is a game of percentages, of winning big percentage-wise, of paying cheap and low risk. And this is a game of not setting stop losses, putting in your max risk per trade. So the most you lose is what you put into the contract. Worst case scenario, you lose 65 per contract. How many contracts are you buying? Your max risk per trade. How much are you risking per trade? A couple percent of your account at most, right? I'm showing you the name of the game. This is a game of adding to winners. Adding to winners is going to increase your wins. The only way to take on extra risk within the market without really risking is adding to a winner. If you add to a loser, you get stopped out or the contract expires worthless and goes to zero sometimes. But if you add to a winner and you set a profit stop, you still fucking win. You still fucking win, man. If you add to the fucking winner, you get stopped out for a profit. Do you understand? Adding to a fucking loser puts you in a situation where you're risking. You're in a high risk situation where you can lose what you added. If you add to winner, you can't really lose what you added. One small winning move in your favor, your average cost is going to be protected by your profit stop and by one small winning move in your favor, man. And when we're up a small amount, we tend to go up a big amount. When we're up 5, 10, 20, 30%, small amount, we tend to go up 100, 200, 300% plus. These are the biggest percentage gains within the market. You will not find any secured private organization out there that has a real-time zero-day option trading alert system and who's having trades where they're getting in at 60 fucking 5 cents and selling at 550 cents within 8 minutes. That one trade alone outperformed many communities, many other traders. That one single trade in 8 fucking minutes. That's why I'm saying, man, we're known for holding our trades, to selling the money, to make the biggest percentage gains. But, during power hour, when the contracts are getting ready to expire worthless, we can't hold the trades very long. We don't have a fucking choice. But in that situation, we're making the biggest percentage gains, outperforming everyone within a span of 10 fucking minutes. That's why I'm saying, if you're following anybody who doesn't hold their trades and they scalp in and out really quick, I would severely question, if they're so good at trading, why aren't they buying far out of the money SPX contracts and making 1,000% returns in 10 fucking minutes? Oh yeah, that's easy to do. That doesn't take 10 years of experience, multi-millionaire, right? So I'm trying to put you on, man. And I'm really trying to show you. I mean, if you join this group, it's going to open you up to the light and you're going to be like, wow, this is real. These are real fucking traders, real fucking people printing, unlimited fucking winning, man. Like, it's a group that actually trades and wins and makes fucking money and has a fucking system, man. So if that's what you're looking for, it's the first link down below within the description.